Jan Hunter O'Ryan.
I took my old cat to the vet. He said, she does look crook. I gazed down at the poor old girl and got a really filthy look. The vet kept poking, prodding, then he lifted up her tail. Her frightened eyes now widened and she began to wag. "Hey you, what's this?" I heard Puss hiss. "What are you up to, Charm?" "Oh my God, he can't do that, he's poked something in my bum." I tried to hold her still for him, but she lashed out in alarm. She bit him on the fingers and then she scratched all down his arm. He yelped, yanked his hands away. My hold was pretty tenuous, and I was on the losing end when she got really strenuous. She swiped at me with angry claws and jumped into the air. She jumped from the table to the cabinet and stuff went everywhere. The thermometer was still in place. Her indignation rose, so she launched herself straight at the vet and latched onto his nose. He raised his bleeding hands and screamed, "Get off, you nasty thing." He turned at me with pleading eyes, "Can't you do anything?" I grabbed her around the middle. She was rigid, wouldn't bend. Then she shot me with the missile that had been in her rear end. I heard the vet start swearing as she launched herself on more. She scattered pills and potions, tore the charts right off the floor. I grabbed her carry basket as she made another round, and I made a mighty lunge at Puss and slammed the basket down. The surgery was chaotic, for Puss had really wrecked it. I thought it might be time for us to make a hasty exit. So carefully, I picked my way through the ruin and the rubble, balancing the basket with the cat that caused the trouble. I crept on through reception. My thoughts were in a whirl, and I whispered at the basket, "Oh, you've done it now, my girl." Well, the vet has sent his invoice, and I have a pretty hefty vet. He also sent a note that said, "Please find another vet."
You can go through the entire works of Shakespeare and find no reference to a thermometer up a cat's bum. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have, for your enjoyment this afternoon, a man who I don't think performed before he came to Sunshine Coast spoken word. And that goes for a few people in the room, I believe. So this appears to be working. I want to give as many of you guys a voice as we possibly can. I refer to none other than Mike the Man. Big hand for Mike, please.
There's a pub at Jamberoo, a town of smallish size, just beneath the Robertson. Back bar, open to the skies. It looks like any country pub, tired, old, a little bit forlorn, square and squat, peeling paint, windows closed, and the doorsteps well and truly worn. Marked by the swinging bull and a quiet country street, it's where they go to drink, and some to read, and perhaps they'll eat. Each week for years it's hosted a clever, wordy crew, each vying for the top place when they read their new work through. A magistrate, a copper, some common types as well, all gather for the evening. What great stories they each tell. Their behaviour has them labelled by the people of the town as those pissed poets. Those pissed poets, and the labellers wear a frown. But the publican, he loves them. They pull the locals in to sit with keen attention and sip shyly on their gin. Pissed poets they may be, but the funny part is this: the townfolk drink more booze as they boo and shout or hiss the poets as they read and maybe stumble on a word. But as the night wears on, it's the townsfolk's speech that's slurred, and the poets read on oblivious to the din from those out there. They've come for their enjoyment to sit in that great chair, the chair from which for once they might this night command some respect of respect of fellow bards, respect not easy earned. They judge each other's work with a fairness and a sense of casual ease, not like the raucous drunken crowd who are only there to tease. One feels it's not the poets pissed, as we are made to think, but the townsfolk drowning their inferiority with far too much to drink. So if you're down in Jamboree on any Thursday night, check out the scene for me and see if I am right.
Here we go. Here we go. The woman who sits beside me is very best friend. What do you give him?
I'm giving him 11.
11. We love that. We're getting all in, Melissa?
Yes, thanks.
Thank you so much for this, Melissa. Big round of applause for Melissa. A grudging round of applause for Pete. You can see that he serves me up on Facebook. Peter the Beater. Big hand for We're not going to time him. He can time himself.
Look, we've all been tailgated by a truckie at some stage of our lives, I'm sure. I know I have on the highway. This is that guy. My name is Albert Sutton. I ride in a truckie, rip up the road with me heavy load, and a sanger full of mutton. Well, my girlfriend's name's Raylene. She keeps her teeth real clean. Works the Roadhouse Cafe out there at Kirrawee. I'm so into trucking I should have been a truck. Rip up the road with me heavy load and gravy down my buttons. Now Raylene's friend's name's Beverly. She comes on pretty heavily. She drives a big grey Chevy. Goes out with a bikey heavy. Yep, my name is Albert Sutton. And I'm right into trucking. Rip up the road with me heavy load and a sanger full of mutton. You thought I was going to say fucking, didn't you? That's it.
No, he scores enough, apparently. He tells me all the time, bragging away. Okay, Pete, what would you reckon? What do you reckon you were worth?
Then?
Yeah.
About 12.
About 12 or 8. Last chance, Pete.
No, because I couldn't understand the last word.
Can you repeat it, please?
Fuck it.
Gonna repeat it again, back to repeat it twice more and you get a 12. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to the microphone Indy Adams, word nerd. Big round of applause. Last performer today. Thank you.
Good morning, beautiful. Let's get shit-faced and set this town on fire. Fill the empty wine bottles with gasoline and pay our respects in Molotov cocktails. Because I'm tired of hiding behind graffitied walls that'll be painted over in slate grey boredom in a week's time, like we would never hear, to mark our territory, dogs of the underground. There's a sweetness to your lips no wine can sate or cigarette eradicate. Despite the gang of Jehovah's Witnesses now attempting to run our streets and stave our souls with stupidity, when we not so secretly worship that holy ferment in fingered prayers to the pagan god of cunts. And we've never been so fragile than when the bottles run dry and a Bible is knocking at the front door with the promise of hell for those that dare to take a peek and lick the vellum pages of history like it's the latest hallucinogenic trip. In the early hours of the morning, after the fires have been lit and stoked in devotions and we come our praises and swear solemn oaths to fuck ourselves to oblivion, doused in the great fermented blood of Christ, poured liberally down our throats, staying awake long enough to watch the fire of the sunrise, a picture of hell dawning on a day that will cheers Molotov cocktails too on the other side of the graffitied wall. We spent our days painting with love and a fuck you. Good morning, beautiful. You get the bottles. I'll get the gasoline. Thank you.
Can I have your attention, please? No. Please. Please. Okay, now most people go through all this rigmarole about announcing a winner, and every person that gets announced before the winner knows automatically that they didn't win. Well, I don't do that. I do the winner first, all right? So, ladies, gentlemen, others. Won't make eye contact. I wish to announce to you today that the winner of the Sunshine Coast Spoken Word Inaugural Poetry Slam, Queen Tracy. You can do whatever you want. There's only one of those. Okay, another huge round of applause. Now there is a second place, and really, after this second place and third place, because there are 3 winners, they can pick whatever they want out of the pile here, and then all the other competitors come up and scrabble over what is left there. Leave the phones and things to other people at the table alone, alright? It's all in that bit there, and I'll put a couple of other things there. I think I've nearly brought enough. I didn't realise there'd be so many competitors today. Fantastic, all of you! Second place with 29.9. How close can you get? It's Claire. We have to get them all here so we've got them on film. Okay. And third place with the man who did not swear once in his piece, Ian Mackay. Okay. The cuddliest poet in the world. Okay, that's enough. I'd like a huge round of applause for everyone else who competed here today. Huge round of applause for Sandy and all the staff here at Bella Cucina.